Heard from Donald Trump defend his plan to temporarily ban Muslims from entering the country. He also wants to police the internet.
We have to go see Bill Gates and a lot of different people that really understand what's happening. We have to talk to them, maybe in certain areas, closing that internet up in some way. Somebody will say, oh, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. These are foolish people. We have a lot of foolish people. We have a lot of foolish people. We've got to maybe do something with the internet because they are recruiting by the thousands.
Joining us now from New Hampshire, Kentucky Senator and presidential candidate, Senator Rand Paul. So, Senator, are you one of those foolish people Donald Trump is talking about?
Well, I think he was talking about the First Amendment. It's the first time I've heard people called foolish who want to defend your right to continue to have freedom of speech. No, I think it's one of our precious liberties, and it scares me to think of an authoritarian getting in charge of our country who would say, oh, we just need to, police the internet and don't let people say things that we might disagree with. No, I think we need to defend the country, but eliminating the things that we stand for, like freedom of speech, is not the way to go about it.
Now, ISIS has been very active on the internet, and the administration has pushed Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever, to police themselves. Is that the way to go?
Well, it could be part of it, and I think we should do a good investigation. So, for example, I'm all for looking at the records of terrorists. I've only asked for one thing that we ought to do, which is constitutional. Ask a judge for a warrant, put an individual's name on it. So I want to look at more records of individual terrorist suspects, but I don't want to look at every American's records because I think that's something that one of the things we fought of the American Revolution over.
Senator, what do you think of Donald Trump's plan to ban, at least temporarily ban, all Muslims from coming to the country?
Well, I don't think we ought to have a religious test for who comes to the country, but also at the same time, I think Hillary Clinton saying, or not being able to say who the enemy is, not declaring the words radical Islam is equally as bad. What I've proposed is actually a stoppage or a moratorium on immigration from about 34 countries that have radical Islamist or terrorist movements, because we need to know who's coming here and what their intentions are. All 19 hijackers that came here on 9/11 came here legally through our immigration system, and they came through loopholes that I don't believe we still are policing adequately.
Can I ask
I agree with the sentiment.
About your plan. So, is Saudi Arabia one of the 34 countries?
Yes, there's about 34 countries, and they're predominantly Islamic countries that have radical jihadist movements. But we also have countries like North Korea that are not Islamic. We also have countries like Nigeria that are half Christian, half Islamic. We look where the terrorist threat is, and we say we do have to restrict that for now. But what I want is a system where
Senator,
people who come,
though?
if they come as students, actually are students.
You say for now, but until when? This is also a temporary ban on, say, Saudis coming over, or any of the other 34 country nationals?
Yeah, we have specific road items that we would have to get to, and we would have to say that we are doing this with our immigration system. 100% of the people coming in, we would have to know 100% of the time that they're leaving on time. See, we have 11 million people in our country that came illegally, and 40% of them overstayed their visa, but we really don't know who they are. We don't know if any of them are potential terrorists, but we also have no intention really of doing anything about it. So we have to fix our immigration system once and for all for national security reasons, and I think the first line of defense, Senator, is to defend your border.
I want to get this in here. It's likely to come up in the CNN debate next week. There are some out there saying that you won't be on that stage. What are your thoughts?
Well, we think if they give us the same treatment that Carly Fiorina was given last time, that you measure from debate to debate, that we actually do meet the criteria already. So, we'll have those discussions and we'll see what comes from it. But we hope that we're treated fairly. I have every expectation that I will be treated fairly, but we want the same and equal treatment that other candidates have gotten in the past. We have a first-tier campaign, and we don't plan on being labeled by the mainstream media anything less.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there, Senator. Thank you very much. Straight ahead, new details and a stabbing